Alright. Alright. This one's gonna be a short lesson today, guys. Sure hope so. I'm tired, man. I'm tired. Subscribe to earn drops. What? I want to get some goddamn. I use Duolingo all the time. Yeah, I want Duolingo. I mean, I got Duolingo, but I want motherfucking gosh darn whatever.
Room brief. In this room, you'll learn what an SSRF is, what kind of impact they can have, you'll view some example SSRF attacks, how you can discover SSRF vulnerabilities, how to circumvent input rules, and then we have a practice for you against with to try your newfound skills. What is an SSRF? SSRF stands for server-side request forgery. It's a vulnerability that allows a malicious user to cause the web server to make an additional or edited HTTP request to the resource of the attacker's choosing. Types of SSRF. There are two types of SSRF vulnerability. The first is a regular SSRF where data is returned to the attacker's screen. The second is a blind SSRF.
Huh.
Types of SSRF. There are two types of SSRF vulnerability. The first is a regular SSRF where data is returned to the attacker's screen. The second is a blind SSRF vulnerability where an SSRF occurs, but no information is returned to the attacker's screen. What's the impact? A successful SSRF attack can result in any of the following: access to unauthorized areas, access to customer/organizational data, ability to scale to internal networks, reveal authentication tokens/credentials.
I'm just guessing on that.
The below example shows how the attacker can have complete control over the page requested by the web server. The expected request is what the website.thm server is expecting to receive, with the section in red being the URL that the website will fetch for the information. The attacker can modify the area in red to an URL of their choice. Next.
It's kind of like a file inclusion, ain't it? What is file? Man? I feel like it's the same fucking thing. Now I'm getting confused. that's hard.
The below example shows how an attacker can still reach the /API/user page with only having control over the path by utilizing directory traversal. When website.thm receives /this is a message to move up a directory, which removes the /stock portion of the request and turns the final request into /API/user.
Alright, let's look at the differences.
File inclusion is an injection vulnerability that allows an attacker to include files, local or remote, on a server, potentially executing malicious code. Server-side request forgery, SSRF, is a broader vulnerability.
My cat's outside. Why is my cat outside?
That tricks a server into making requests to an unintended location, which can include accessing files but also extends to interacting with internal services or external systems. Comparison of file inclusion and SSRF feature. File inclusion, server-side request forgery, SSRF, exploitation goal to include a file, with the ultimate goal often being remote code execution, RCE, on the server. To coerce a server into sending a request to a malicious or unintended location on behalf of the attacker. Attack vector, manipulating a parameter that specifies a file path, forcing the application to include a file that was not intended. Manipulating a URL parameter or other input that the server uses to make a request to a different system.
Huh. Okay. I'm not understanding that. Okay, what? I'm not understanding.
In this example, the attacker can control the server's subdomain to which the request is made. Take note of the payload ending in end x equals being used to stop the remaining path from being appended to the end of the attacker's URL and instead turns it into a parameter, x equals on the query string. Next.
Huh. I don't understand this. Getting a headache trying to understand this shit. Stay. It's like a bubble in it or something. Something wrong with the damn plastic.
Going back to the original request, the attacker can instead force the web server to request a server of the attacker's choice. By doing so, we can capture request headers that are sent to the attacker's specified domain. These headers could contain authentication credentials or API keys sent by website.thm that would normally authenticate to api.website.thm.
Huh.
Using what you've learned, try changing the address in the browser below to force the web server to return data from HTTP URL. To make things easier, the server requesting bar at the bottom of the mock browser will show the URL that website.thm is requesting.
I do not understand this. I don't fucking know. Let's see what he did. equals server dot website. I would never guess that. Huh. I didn't see. I want. Oh, that's a pain in the ass. I'll tell you that.
Potential SSRF vulnerabilities can be spotted in web applications in many different ways. Here is an example of 4 common places to look when a full URL is used in a parameter in the address bar.
Oh. How come you didn't teach me this before?
Some of these examples are easier to exploit than others, and this is where a lot of trial and error will be required to find a working payload. If working with a blind SSRF where no output is reflected back to you, you'll need to use an external HTTP logging tool to monitor requests such as requestbin.com, your own HTTP server, or Burp Suite's collaborator client. More More security-savvy developers aware of the risks of SSRF vulnerabilities may implement checks in their applications to make sure the requested resource meets specific rules. There are usually two approaches to this, either a deny list or an allow list. Deny list. A deny list is where all requests are accepted apart from resources specified in a list or matching a particular pattern. A web application may employ a deny list to protect sensitive endpoints, IP addresses, or domains from being accessed by the public while still allowing access to other locations. A specific endpoint to restrict access is the local host, which may contain server performance data or further sensitive information, so domain names such as localhost and 127.0.0.1 would appear on a deny list. Attackers can bypass a deny list by using alternative localhost references such as 0, 0.0.0.0, 0000.
You ain't gotta tell me that.
Also, in a cloud environment, it would be beneficial to block access to the IP address 169.254.169.254, which contains metadata for the deployed cloud server, including possibly sensitive information. An attacker can bypass this by registering a subdomain on their own domain with a DNS record that points to the IP address 169.254.169.254. Allow list. An allow list is where all requests get denied unless they appear on a list or match a particular pattern, such as a rule that an URL used in a parameter must begin with HTTP URL. An attacker could quickly circumvent this rule by creating a subdomain on an attacker's domain name, such as HTTP URL. The application logic would now allow this. Input and let an attacker control the internal HTTP request. Open redirect. If the above bypasses do not work, there is one more trick up the attacker's sleeve, the open redirect. An open redirect is an endpoint on the server where the website visitor gets automatically redirected to another website address. Take, for example, the link HTTP URL. This endpoint was created to record the number of times visitors have clicked on this link for advertising/marketing purposes. But imagine there was a potential SSRF vulnerability with stringent rules which only allowed URLs beginning with HTTP URL. An attacker could utilize the above feature
Two five four 169 All right, fuck, man.
Let's put what we learned about SSRF to the test in a fictional scenario. We've come across two new endpoints during a content discovery exercise against the Acme IT support website. The first one is /private, which gives us an error message explaining that the contents cannot be viewed from our IP address. The second is a new version of the customer account page at /customers/new account page with a new feature allowing customers to choose an avatar for their account. Begin by clicking the Start Machine button to launch the Acme IT support website. Once running, visit it at the URL http URL. And then follow the below instructions to get the flag. First, create a customer account and sign in. Once you've signed in, visit http URL. To view the new avatar selection feature. By viewing the page source of the avatar form, you'll see the avatar form field value contains the path to the image. The background image style can confirm this in the above div element as per the screenshot below.
What the fuck? Let's try it. What's going on? Here, yeah, I'm gonna go back to it. I don't know what's going on, but it's not opening up the. Oh hell, I leveled up. Cool. Oh, I never, my dumb ass.
Let's put what we've learned about SSRF to the test in a fictional scenario. We've come across two new endpoints during a content discovery exercise against the Acme IT support website. The first one is /private, which gives us an error message explaining that the contents cannot be viewed from.
Yeah, I don't feel like I'm getting much bigger. I feel like I'm skinnier. You know? All is working out. I ain't doing much. You know? I mean,
Our IP address. The second is a new version of the customer account page at /customers/new account page with a new feature allowing customers to. We've come across two new endpoints during a content discovery exercise against the Acme IT support website. The first one is /private, which gives us an error message explaining that the contents cannot be viewed from our IP address. The second is a new version of the customer account page at /customers/new account page with a new feature allowing customers to choose an avatar for their account. Begin by clicking the Start Machine button to launch the Acme IT support website. Once running, visit it at the URL http URL. And then follow the below instructions to get the flag. First, create a customer account and sign in. Once you've signed in, visit http URL. To view the new avatar selection feature. By viewing the page source of the avatar form, you'll see the avatar form field value contains the path to the image. The background image style can confirm this in the above div element as per the screenshot below.
okay. Yeah, that's true. Oh, I don't see the page source of that. Fuck. Oh, that's true. Okay. What's that say? What's base 64? That's fucking no way. There's no way. It's just gibberish regardless. Yeah, that's why I noticed. Oh, I can't select inspect. Oh, I can. Where do you see private? Value private.
As you can see from the error message, the path cannot start with /private, but don't worry, we've still got a trick up our sleeve to bypass this rule. We can use a directory traversal trick to reach our desired endpoint. Try setting the avatar value to x/private. You'll see we have now bypassed the rule, and the user updated the avatar. This trick works because when the web server receives the request for x/private, it knows that the /string means to move up a directory that now translates the request to just /private. Viewing the page source of the avatar form, you'll see the currently set avatar now contains the contents from the /private directory in base 64 encoding.
No way.
Decode this content and it will reveal a flag that you can enter below.
worked out. That's pretty fucking cool. Oh. My brain hurts trying to. I mean, I get it, but I don't. You know. What did that after? Oh, cross-site scripting. That's gonna be badass. Come on, I'm a legend, boy. Well, that was pretty cool.